in Maryville. Farmers ain't complaining no more. Hotels building from Liberia. No turning back, we shall prosper. Silverstone and Mount Cinnamon. Development goes on. Transformation of TAP CC. School upgrade on the NNP. Emergency wing of the hospital. Almost complete and standing tall. Let us all come together and go the best of Grenada. Let's keep moving. The economy growing. Let's keep moving. Construction booming. Let's keep moving. Every man is smiling. Let's keep moving. Salary receiving. Healthcare improving.
Keep moving.
Pension coming.
Keep moving.
Better condition.
Keep moving.
NNPD party for the land. Let's keep moving. Show me your colors. Let's keep moving. Your green colors. The party's strong and we're moving on. 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 Kirani James.
This is not politics. Please don't forget, I'm just practicing to be a poet. Not qualified as yet, but have no fear. I'm gonna get there. I'm not in this world to live up to your expectation. Neither are you in to live up to mine. I don't owe no one, no obligation. No one owes me none, so everything is fine, fine. I said I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. Serious business. There is a time for everything, and for everything there is a season. So man and man must reason. So I think it's prime time that we address some more issues. Simple information I will use. No rocket science to get you confused. So relax your mind, make sure everything is fine, while I take you down a poetic line. Trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. I remember you say Liberation Day, and I ask, you sure is that you wanna say? Cause you sounded so good to believe. And deception is a powerful thing when you lose your rightful thinking. So we voted for the bling. But you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. Yellow, yellow all the way is what everybody say. Cell phone ring, man answering. Yellow, yellow, no hello. Teeth get yellow, house get yellow, bus get yellow, man get yellow, even green get yellow, and so says 11-4. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. Old school parables say you know what you have, but you don't know what you go get. So cherish what you have to diminish regret. But what on earth lasts forever? Not even things created by the great Jehovah. So the green grass ceased to grow to allow the yellow vibes to flow. But boy, one song I sing, one bell I ring. If we didn't know, we'd never know yellow would have treated us so. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. They began with the blame game, giving NNP more fame. Past administration, the cause of frustration. Past administration, chief of corruption. Then to economic recession, we can't give you attention. Economic recession, the cause of poverty in the land. Economic recession, no employment for the ordinary man. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain. gangsters talk in a pipeline. But when asked, how is the country going? Oh, fine, fine, fine. We are looking into it. We are looking into it. Never mind, never mind. Only projects in pipeline. No water to cool down the yellow temperature. When will they start? Please answer that. Oh, soon, soon, soon. Maybe by the next full moon. Although things are turning at a very slow pace, we now run no race. 5 years is a lot of space. It's just a few hungry people in a place and a few disgruntled grim people with their vexed face. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. You now refrain. Busy governing, busy managing, busy politicking, busy neglecting.
And a special good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. You see, I'm looking left and right and making sure everything is working properly for you. All right, yes, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. It's now 6 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock.
You to between trick us with campaign promises. We won't stay at ease. That's the way it is.
And as I give the audience a little time to build up, yeah, I'm going to play that tune. Everybody keep asking me for the tune, copy of the tune, they want the tune, they want the tune. Yeah, so I'm going to play that tune for you right now.
They say when you don't have good food, you must take in front. So this is my Kaiso for the Masgra 2023. Make sure all come out and support me. No politics, just Kaiso. Let's go. There is no place in the world like Grenada. Its people are so unique, so fabulous. They take politics real serious. You can't tell a man nothing wrong about his party. He'll deal with you so seriously, and from there on, you are his enemy. But as man, I must open my big mouth to lament on some things you know about. So the bother come attack me. Don't waste your time on a old jungle like me. Pie in the sky, promises and mama guy. Voters say their expectations were too high. Like the old proverb from way back long. You want to be wrong and strong. Some people bawling with their mouth closed. How they do that, only God knows. Man who could talk, they bawling with their jaws locked. I thought only dummies used to do that. A lady told me she's dying inside slowly, but she don't mind once it's NDC killing she. She said we had enough under Claudius, so nothing wrong if baby Jesus kill us. All those who claim that they love country more than party. The truth and reality is quite visual and so clear to see. Some things are morally wrong and unethical, are considered as politically essential. Their backs are against the wall, but you still can't tell them they're wrong at all. $2,000 increase on your salary, but you cut for people on by $150. I wonder who advising you. Old people go drag bam bam on you. You promise to improve standard of living, but I'm seeing more pain, hurt and suffering. Would you stop for a while and listen to me? Please don't send one more family into poverty. They're crying with their mouths closed. How they do that, only God knows. They're afraid to talk your supporters on the attack when they say is that, is that. A man told me as a strong foot soldier since June 23rd he ain't make $1. When he checked them, hear what they go say. You was wearing a green jersey one Sunday. I'm a strong supporter of the transformation agenda. It could be done with minimal errors, but tribalism and partisan politics messed up the Congress genetics. Mr. PM, you must stick to your promises. A lot of people voted you on these premises. How could you fool big people so? With pension, permanent, and home money galore. Now they're expecting you to deliver. but your conversation becomes so different. If your mind change, complain and tell us. Remember, you are Grenada, Jesus. You promise happiness and better days, but we sing the opposite in many ways. Man don't go down in record as the worst PM. The poor and needy, please don't neglect them. A burning silence deep within, quietly suffering, because you are labeled as a greed. You could stack up your blessings. Sandra told me she's greatly disappointed. That's not what she expected, but she's sticking with she party, even though she grandma lose the 150. Jonah was giving them one, but you offered them two. They took the bait and they voted for you. They say you focus on the rich and middle class, the lower strata, you don't care one ras. Now them outstretched long with fret and regret. They miss the little stipends they used to get. Faith and CJs, you kill them dead. Over 1,000 families lost their bread. You sent groundsmen home and told them reapply, but you know very well that was mama guy. Nobody in spring source up no more. With pest and disease, that industry will never grow. I can't wait for the new MNIB. Farmers' money go be tall like coconut tree. They say people get too much a pension, all because of wrong calculations. But Mr. X did tell them already, in the land there's one mathematician. I told my partner to bring back the money, make the treasury look pretty, we want salary. They don't bother with the lady up in High Street, so she come on Facebook and she excrete. People say NDC don't want no heart, how they coulda do them Haitian start. No regards for humanity, baby Jesus totally lost his sanctity. All you go come here and make things worse, put more pressure on the nation's purse. So Haiti, I'm sorry, they didn't want you in the yellow country.
Yes, indeed, folks, and it is Talking Points. And of course, my name is Sheldon Scott, taking you up until the 10 o'clock hour, 13 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock. Yeah, last night we started the conversation speaking about healthcare. Yeah, we were speaking about some of the situations that are taking place. And, you know, up to now, they can't say what I've been saying last night is untrue. If anything, we've actually gotten more information. Yeah, you only can make as much people sign as much documents as you want in relation to confidentiality and not saying what is going on in the ministries and so on. My goodness. Someone just sent me something. Yeah, you see, they can say as much as they want about confidentiality and that sort of thing. But, folks, we cannot just accept some of the things that are happening there, because we know that we came out of a situation that was not perfect, but was way better than what is happening now in relation to healthcare. It was not perfect. You cannot have a situation, for instance, where Grenadians overseas, the nurses and so who are overseas, get together and they get items for health centers here in Grenada. And it's not a situation that they're just sending along the items to the Ministry of Health and say, send it where you want. These are nurses, some of them from the rural communities, who have visited the communities where they are from. And in some instances, they're not even from that community, but being a nurse, they're caring people. So they're going up to the countryside and they want to pass and see what Hermitage Medical Station look like, what they need. They want to pass and see how things are going there. They want to speak to the nurses and so there. They want to pass across into Tivoli and see what's going on there. So they go around and they find out. And then when they are sending, they send specific. So they send specifically. Yeah, they sent it specifically to certain health centers in the rural community. To this point in time, what they sent is not what is at the health center. Imagine you go to a health center, you realize, hey, there's a need for a machine to check blood pressure and that sort of thing. Because we know a lot of people suffer with hypertension, high blood pressure, and so you need a machine to effectively test that. So the nurses organize, they send that machine down together with other items specific to that health center. Up to now, Joke Jody, they can't find it. Up to now, Joke Jody, they can't find it. Months now, it has still not been delivered to that health center. They send down examination tables. You know the tables that you go and you lie down on? They do the examination, those kind of things. They send down that specific to specific health centers. When the nurses who organized, who raised their funds and who accessed these items and sent it down to Grenada, come in Grenada now. Go to the health center fully expecting to see the examination table that the staff there said was needed and that they organized and sent down, and that was received by the government of Grenada here, not the New National Party administration and the NDC administration. It was sent down. During the time, just around the time of the election, it was sent down. So it came in Grenada and it was received by the NDC administration. And up to this point in time, yeah, they can't say where that table disappeared to. Two of them. They can't say where it disappeared because it's not the one that they sent, that they specifically marked that had to go to those health centers, didn't come. I don't know if they take it and they put it in Tongue. I don't know if they take it and they put it somewhere else, but it's definitely not where it ought to be. Now, how do you expect these people who are doing their very best to raise funds and to access medication and different implements to help healthcare here in Grenada, if they are treated in that way? If they are treated in that way, you expect them to wholeheartedly continue to do the same thing that they've been doing for several years now? You expect them to go out of the way now to do that same sort of thing again? It's unfair to them. Ministry of Health, fix it. And they know what I'm saying is true. None of them can say that are lying. None. They know what I'm saying here tonight is the truth. It is a problem. They need to fix it. Yeah, Wendy. They must tell us that we lie. That remember that the documents for sending it down, the photos of it, all of that exist. So let them say we lie. They like to say that we lie. Without any proof or anything, they like to say that we lie. Say we lie. Make that mistake. Say we lie. They pass in letter left, right, and center. So it's in the Ministry of Health. They're coming to them and tell them they have to sign a letter of confidentiality. Anything that is said here, anything that happens here, let it stay here. So when they go and do the corrupt things, when they go and they do the wrong things, that you and I wouldn't know because the staff not allowed to talk. They want to frighten the staff. In Ministry of Health and in all the other ministries, they want to frighten them. Because you see, they thought running a ministry was talking nice and put on a nice suit and eyes minister. I was telling you all last week of a particular instance that I know one minister that came to work in one outfit one day. And that minister left probably about 2, 3 in the morning. They went home. And the next morning they come back in the same outfit again. It's like they just sit down on the couch when they reach home. They take maybe a couple hours sleep and they just get back up. They pull and back to work again. Because sometimes that is what it takes. Sometimes that is what it takes to get the job done in a ministry. So these guys probably thought that running a ministry was, I have a nice suit and I buy $100,000 vehicle. They probably thought is that I'm going to take trips to Europe, to Africa, to the Middle East, to North America, to South America, to Central America, to Australia, to New Zealand, to Asia, to China. They probably thought that it's only about jumping plane and taking trips. But the trips that you ought to take, they ain't taking. So when the Cuban government organizes a ticket for the Minister of Health here, makes all the arrangement protocol-wise, etc., spend the Cubans' money to organize for the minister, and the minister just don't show up. That's utmost disrespect. When you have people disrespecting the Cubans here, and the government, even the ruling party that is separate from the government, doesn't come out and say, hey, all you're wrong. The Cubans have been helpful to us. In other words, it's like they're joining with the people in attacking the Cubans. It's like they want to join with them. That is the kind of things that these are the things that we have going on here right now. These are things that we have to address. You saw the New National Party put out a press release in relation to this unwarranted attack on the Cuban healthcare professionals that come to Grenada to help. Imagine you have people that sit down in St. John. They're going blind, my God. For you to find the time to go and sit down and speak with the Cuban ambassadors and them. They come to the independence celebration and they refuse to even acknowledge them. At the independence celebration, you call all kind of country that doesn't help Grenada, those never even send a doctor or a nurse. They call out all of them. They acknowledge all of them. Yes, fraternal, yes, you have diplomatic relations, no problem. But one of the countries that you're supposed to call before all the others, you don't call them. As I said here before, you don't have to be a fan of the Cuban system of government. You don't have to be a fan of it. But recognize what the Cuban people have done in the past, are doing now, and would like to do in the future for the people of Grenada. We had our ambassador there, Ambassador Clarice Charles. When she went there, they were only taking 5 cancer patients out of Grenada on a yearly basis. 5. She got it up to 7. If the minister had set foot in Cuba, then they would have been able, at least, they would have been able to probably say, watch, Ole gave the last set of people 7, we want to look good too. Help us. Give us 3 more, make it 10. Give us 5 more. Give us 7 more. Because you have people that are coming down with different issues here. The Cubans from time to time, they send their eye care team, working along with the Venezuelans, and you had the Miracle Eye program in the past and so. And now, for you to be focusing on things like that, disrespecting the Cubans, that's what they're focusing on. And then you end up with situations now where some of the healthcare professionals, the Cubans that ought to be here and should have been here, are starting to leave. And they are creating a vacuum within the healthcare system. But they will not hold a press conference so that the media can ask them these questions. They will not hold a press conference so that the media can question them. Like or don't like Kalisha Faria, go ask them. Like him or don't like him. Kellan Bob, he go ask them. The other media houses, you could like them, you could don't like them. They will ask those questions. And it's not that I'm promoting any particular journalist. I'm just saying, like them or don't like them, they will ask the question, they ain't afraid to ask it. And due to that, they're not having no, look, this week, have they had any post-cabinet press briefing this week? You have a situation with the Prime Minister, he's in St. Lucia, and then he will come back in Grenada just to go back in St. Kitts now. So you're leaving St. Lucia to come back in Grenada to go back in St. Kitts. When you could have just go from St. Lucia to go in St. Kitts. Who paying for that? The same people who paying, from what I'm hearing, the allegation is $24,000 for a facility for him to stay in for a different, they have the Prime Minister's residence, remember, that is there. That has been there since independence. You have the Prime Minister's residence in Mount Royal. But they find, because they were in different suit, that they ain't staying, they go in and stay in the next place. So now, you have to pay on a monthly basis $24,000 for that new facility for the Prime Minister to go online. Like for him to stay in that new facility. He ain't find the one that Sir Eric Matthew Gary stayed in. And I think every Prime Minister, I think there are probably only one Prime Minister other than that didn't stay there. So you have a situation like that. And they don't have medication. You telling me that you don't have things like insulin? And if they have very small amounts. You telling me that this morning I spoke to a person. This morning, I spoke to another person. I did the program last night. I spoke about it and was made aware of another case this morning of someone that had to do a surgery this week and it's been put off. And they were told directly by the doctor, we don't have the medication, so we have to put it off. I know of other instances of people, and I mentioned it last night, paid nearly $2,000. And here's the thing, because some of you all might have get it wrong last night. The close to $2,000 they paid to get a test done was not done by the government of Grenada, you know. They had to go in the private sector and do it because the government didn't have the reagents. Yeah, they didn't have the reagents to do the blood tests and the other things. So they had to take that money and go and do their tests in the private sector. Right? You have Sunrise Diagnostics. You have the one on the Carenage there, which name eludes me right now. You have one over in the Nutmeg place. And so you have these different places. So they had to go and find themselves by one of them and pay the money and get their test done to do their surgery. And then when the time comes to the surgery, you tell them, listener, can't do that surgery for you now. You're going to have to wait a few months. So the obvious question, what do I do now with the test results that you have asked me to get in the days leading up to that surgery that I had to pay money for? Well, I know what to tell you now. We go call you and tell you when you could do the surgery in a few months. So that person has to continue with their condition, unfairly so. They have to continue with that condition. And then while they're continuing with that condition, they also have to work on finding the money to do the same test that they did already to do it over. And the uncertainty, which provides additional stress, physiological stress. Dr. Pancho, I know you're listening. Yeah, it creates additional physiological stress. I'm using big words tonight. In other words, you know when you're stressing on something, your body does be affected? Yeah. So it's making it worse for the individual. That's the kind of thing that's taking place. When I hear that a 22-year-old had to have their uterus removed because they were not able to get a DNC, first of all, the ultrasound, forget that. They couldn't get the ultrasound done at that facility in St. Andrew. And I know that the New National Party, together with Grenlec, and the New National Party government, not the party, the government, with Miss Nadia Benjamin and Grenlec, ensured not only that there was an X-ray machine there, but that they had the ultrasound facility there, and they also had portable, I think it was about 2, portable ultrasound that they could move with and go to beds and so on. Now you're hearing no ultrasound. They had to be sending people down to Tongue in ambulance again. So people had to be leaving the Princess Alice Hospital in ambulance, going over 1910 to come down to Tongue to go and have x-rays and so done. That's what I'm hearing. So tell them, in fact, I want the government to continue telling people don't talk, because the more they tell them don't talk, is the more they're coming out and say what happening. Whether it be in GDB, we'll get to that. Whether it be in Lotto, yes, we're coming to that too. Yeah? Whether it be in Port Authority, steady and feel, we don't know. Tell them sign thing, gravel and concrete. The more they tell them sign thing, the more they're coming out and say. So you have that situation now that a young lady, I think it's about 20, 22 somewhere, early 20s, had to have her uterus removed because the medication that she ought to have been on was unavailable. And she had a miscarriage because she couldn't even have an ultrasound done. That's the kind of nonsense that is taking place right now. But they're jumping up and down like clong. Boots on the ground, boots on the ground, boots on the ground. Fools. Stupidness. And then as soon as they come, it's that. What do you mean it's that? These are people's lives that you're playing with. We're going back to this situation again. I feel like I'm having deja vu. Because I remember leading up to the 2013 election when I used to do the Hard Talk program myself and Ian Edwards back then. Leading up to the 2013 general election. That we had a list of medications that were unavailable at the general hospital and other healthcare facilities. including medication for mental patients. In other words, people who have that dissociation with reality. And you're supposed to have medication to keep them level, and so on. People who could possibly become violent, and you don't have the medication that they are supposed to be getting. And that, again, is a fact. There are some people that have to go and get the only reason you see them operating normal is because they have to go and get an injection, It might even have one on radio, not here, but it might even have one on radio. People who just have to go and get the injection on a regular basis to keep them sort of level-headed. And there's not something to joke about, because mental illness is nothing to joke about. But this is something to be concerned about. Because if one of these individuals has a break with reality, it could end up being a dangerous situation if they are at the Mount Gay facility for the staff that's already understaffed up there. Yeah, the mental hospital is understaffed. As it is right now, they are understaffed up there. All kind of mawet again. Or for the people out in the community who also need to have their medication. If they're not getting their medication and getting it on time, and the type of medication they're supposed to get and the dose that they're supposed to get, it could become a very, very serious situation. So again, what the government focusing on? Instead of telling people come about what? By monthly payment. So they ask all the public workers and them, the same one they tell don't say anything. They ask them public workers and them to join them on Zoom tomorrow for them to have a discussion about paying twice a month. Yeah? Paying twice a month. The people who, up to now, I met a government worker today, and for their own safety, I cannot give their name because they like to spite people. The government worker tell me, Sheldon, I ain't get paid yet, no. This is the 22nd of February. This person has not been paid since the 15th of December. And there are one or two stragglers like that around. You have people under the seed program that got the reduced seed payment. The $150 that they thief from them. They get the reduced seed payment last month. This month, the name off the list. And then you come in to say mistake. Or you can make a mistake with a person who needs that money to buy their medication, to keep on the water, to keep on the electricity, to get some food. How you could make a mistake like that? You make a mistake, you're making a mistake with people's lives. So now they will come with some kind of excuse. But the reality is, this is what is taking place within the healthcare system, and this is what is taking place within our Grenada right now. And they can't say we lie. Well, they could say it, but they would be lying. They could say it. Every now and again, they try to catch us on talking points, You know what they does do sometimes? I realize every now and again they try to bait us with a false story. But they must understand that we investigate. And notice I ain't saying we investigate. We double check. There are things I was told, and people tell you like as a matter of fact, I could have come here and say already. But if I had done that, I might have found myself in front of a court with a lawsuit. So I had to make sure. And when I check certain things, I find out, that one ain't true. This one ain't true. That one is just a rumor. Or this one, they're actually trying to set you up. Because they want to do something to get rid of this program, So don't think we do expect that they're going to try to feed us false information on different things. So know when we come and tell you something is that we research it and we make sure it's true. So when we tell you that there's a Zoom meeting taking place tomorrow, when we tell you that, let me see if I have it here. I sure have it here. Yeah, all the things they tell them don't give us, they just make sure they give us. So, yeah. So we have it here. I hope the audio ain't cut out tonight, But yeah. So, this one is in relation to the bi-monthly payment. Yeah, this one is in relation to the bi-monthly payment. So, they're going to be having a Zoom meeting tomorrow. And they're asking for the public workers to come and have their say in relation to it. Let me tell all your public workers something, They're talking to all you about bi-monthly payment. The same people that catching their nene to pay all you even this month, right? That had problems paying all you last month, and in some instances, all you ain't get paid. Some get paid last week, some ain't get paid up to now, All right? They're telling you, join them to talk about paying you twice on a monthly basis now. So pay you every fortnightly payments. Because I don't think bi-monthly is really the right term. Bi-monthly should actually mean every 2 months. So I don't know if that is what they really mean. They want to pay only every 2 months. If they said bi-weekly, I would think every 2 weeks. But I'm not sure. Maybe my English language is off. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I would think that bi-monthly means that you're going to pay every 2 months. Bi-weekly, I would think it means that you're going to pay every 2 weeks. So I don't know if the intention is to pay bi-monthly. I don't know. I know they like a lot of biting. But anyhow, yeah, like bicycle, anyway, I can't say that on air. Right. So the bottom line here is this. They're having that Zoom meeting. It's tomorrow. It's going to be from 2 p.m. I think we should join. Talking points. I think one or two of us should join here. We want to hear what's going on and that kind of thing. They go mute us. We can't respond and say things, but maybe we need to join in and hear what it is they have to say in relation to, look, we have the Zoom meeting ID and passcode. They could change it tonight. We will still have it tomorrow anyway. So yeah, all I could make as much people sign as much thing as all they want. It's not going to change the fact that we are all Grenadians and we have a right to information. You all were the ones that were speaking about Freedom of Information Act. You all were the ones that went on the campaign and talk about freedom of information. The Prime Minister is the one that when he was sworn in as the Minister of Information, spoke about introduction of a Freedom of Information Act. But in any democratic society, when you have the Freedom of Information Act, even before that, you have to put in place whistleblower legislation. Which means that if somebody in the Ministry of Finance or the Ministry of Health or some other ministry sees something going wrong and realizes that a cover-up is taking place, that they can come out and say, yeah, I think we join in that thing, yeah. They can come out and say, leak that information to the press, leak that information outside, and be protected by the whistleblower legislation because something wrong is going on. And the persons who give that information out should be protected. So don't come and tell us about Freedom of Information Act without a whistleblower legislation. Or just leave the thing how it is. Don't tell the people nothing when the information come out. Because anything that comes out that you have to be concerned about will be factual. Why are they afraid of information? Listen, they had a meeting today. Ministry of Youth. They're so afraid you all on talking points. Let me tell you all how much they're afraid of you. They put 2 boxes. They tell them when they're coming in, all you put all your phone in them box and them. Because they're afraid that somebody record and that's how one member of the talking point family gets it and it end up here. So they're so afraid. I mean, it didn't happen. But anyhow, there's another story for another time. They're so afraid that we end up with a recording. They're so afraid that we end up with a recording of today's meeting that they tell all the staff, you have to put your phones in the boxes. Yeah, they didn't want the staff to come in with their phones in the meeting. They're so afraid. They're like, exactly, I want to know, Annette, what do they have to hide? So, what they had to hide? We're going to put up the link again in a little while for you to take the information. What they had to hide. So they tell them, take the phone and thing. Then they tell them, they want all of them to sign a confidentiality contract, a secrecy contract, that whatever is happening in the Ministry of Youth, be it good, bad, indifferent, corrupt, whatever is taking place within the Ministry of Youth, that they are not to come out and say it. But here what they're doing. They're not giving them the form to sign and bring back. They're not providing the form outside. They're putting the form inside a room with one of the senior people in the ministry, and each person has to come in and sign it inside. You know why they're doing that? Because they're afraid that we end up with a picture of the Why are you afraid? That should be a public document. So you mean you're afraid that somebody, not that we have that too, but you're afraid that somebody leak the document that's trying to stop leaks? Are you all so afraid of that? So now, they actually, imagine that. First, they go to a meeting. They put box and they tell them, put their phone in the box. Because they're afraid that somebody tape the meeting and come out and provide the meeting to the general public so that you and I would know what they are doing in the Ministry of Youth. Now remember, the campaign promise of the Prime Minister when he was just political leader of the NDC is that within 12 months of taking office, they would regularize all the Imani trainees and all the contract workers within the ministry. Let me say that again. He said, within 12 months of taking office, I don't have the audio with me tonight. I'll play it tomorrow night for you all. They can't have time pull it. I have it recorded already. But I just don't have it here. That within 12 months, they made that as a campaign promise to the Imani trainees and to the staff of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. That within 12 months of taking office, they would regularize them. Today, they're telling the staff of the Ministry of Youth that those on contract, that they're doing some restructuring and so on because some of them are on contract and the contracts have ended and they just are wrong. But now they're telling them that, hey, come July, a new dispensation will be taking place. So you know, and come on, my good friends within the Ministry of Youth, you all know what they're going and do. The same thing that they did at the end of 2008. They sent all of you home. They didn't send me home. I had a contract and I don't know. Maybe they thought they could have win me over. I don't know. But they didn't send me home. But they sent home the rest of the staff. So we know what is going to happen by July because it's between two things. Come June, because remember he said within 12 months. So we're giving him until July. Even though he came in June, we will say July, right? It means therefore that it's between two things in July. Or you're going home or you're being made permanent. So let's wait and see what happens in the month of July to every Imani trainee. So this means all of those who are carrying out secretarial duties and other duties as Imani trainees within the service, the government service, you all are supposed to be getting permanent by June. They ain't supposed to be sending you all home. They ain't supposed to be offering you all any contracts because I hear some contracts passing to some of the Imani trainees that some are being offered some short-term contracts and different things like that. Remember, there's the same set of people that say contracts illegal, but they've been offering contracts to people. Those assistant teachers and other people, they have been offered contracts. That is what is taking place. So I don't know who they think they're fooling. I don't know who they think they're fooling. So whether it's the Ministry of Health, they don't want us to speak about the things that I spoke about tonight. They don't want you to know that down to surgical gloves are in short supply. They don't want you to know that the medication, for if somebody gets in an accident and they go to the accident and emergency ward and so the accident emergency department, and you have to give them medication. Let's say you have a broken leg and they need to give you medication for the pain, and so that is in short supply as well. That insulin is in short supply. A lot of other medications in short supply. They don't want you all to know that. Yeah, they definitely don't want you all to know that. But we are going to continue telling you. They don't want you to know what's going on within the Ministry of Youth. All kind of investigation because they find, how does Sheldon get the document with Mr. Patrick Simmons, or Simmons's, correct language, Simmons's? Yeah, his emoluments, etc. that he received as a contract, but that was requested in Parliament. You all had to give it anyway. You didn't. The last time you tried to wiggle your way out of it. Mr. Ian Django Thomas, that information has been given. Was supposed to be given in Parliament. That wasn't given. But it's out there. And if you think the others will not be coming out every 2 weeks, every month or so on, they will be coming out. So it's better to just put it in Parliament and save the embarrassment. We have a caller on the line. I wasn't taking calls yet, but since the caller called.
Good night, Sheldon.
Yes, sir. Good night.
How are you doing?
I'm quite fine.
Listen to me now. I heard some kind of rumor this today.
Mm-hmm.
They are saying that the information that you are putting out, some man in the ministry has putting out this information to you, putting out this information, and I think FBI is going to investigate him sometime soon.
FBI investigating what?
The FBI is going to investigate the guy soon in terms of information that he passing out to you. And he's going to take a video, taking a video taking video photos and bring to you. And they're going to, I think they're going to jail him or something like that. So I say, well, I don't know nothing about that.
That's just rumors,
I don't know
man.
the person.
That's just rumors.
So that's what I heard today.
That's just rumors, man. They're just worried.
The NDC people have been saying that.
No, you see, let me tell you what is happening, caller. They are very afraid that all the wrong things that are happening, we continually get that information and we're putting it out. And there is an outright attempt to try and scare all of the people within the public service. They want to get them afraid. They want to get them to a stage that they don't want to talk, or they're afraid to talk, and they're afraid to say things, and they're afraid to share things. That's what they're trying. They want to make here like, North Korea. In North Korea, you really can't say anything. That's what they're trying to do.
Men will say that there was transparent and everything will be up to mark and everything will be in the right place. How now they're telling us now that you're trying to block people, you're trying to hide phone, what's going on? Grenada is coming like North Korea?
Well, I think...
Are we coming some communist country?
And they mentioned the FBI, and some of the listeners are saying, it's not the FBI, I think they mean the FIU. But at the end of the day, they cannot be afraid and should not be afraid if they're not doing anything wrong. If they're not doing anything wrong, what are they afraid of? Isn't it? If you do a cocoa in the sun, you can't be afraid of rain.
Well, obviously. So what is scared about?
They're afraid. Man.
And they say that everything will be up to mark. Everybody will get all the information. The media will have all the information. No, you're trying to hide the information? Man, watch. These people are named, this kind of Baba boy needs to get, it's time for these people to get out of there and give us a chance that we run this country. We're ready to run this country and take back this country. Understand?
All right, my brother.
You're not ready yet. You're not ready yet, Sheldon. You're not ready yet. It's time for them to go. Sheldon, a lady tell me up to now she don't get money yet,
Well, one told me that this afternoon again.
She tell me up to now from since December she don't get no money yet.
Since the 15th of December, haven't been paid.
Yeah, from the 15th of December she don't get no money. So what do you want paying your bill? She has children to send to school. Eh? Come on, man. These people aren't dead already yet, man.
All right, my brother. Feel free to call back.
Bless.
All right, great. Yes, indeed, folks. So, yeah, you can call in. 440-7377. You can call in at any time. Let me just make sure and clear the phone line. Yeah, I just had to actually step back and clear the phone line so that you could be able to call in. Yeah, if you're not doing anything wrong, if you don't have cocoa in sun, then why are you worried about the clouds and the rain? You don't have cocoa in the sun. Why are they so worried? And somebody was saying just now they're posting up all kind of thing. I don't care what they post up about me. 6 or 1, half a dozen of the other. I ain't even wasting time in court with them because half of them brooks anyway. Yeah? I mean, every now and again you might have to take one and make an example of them. And that time will come. But for now, me, I trying to bother them. They're trying to get you distracted. Yeah? But they don't like the fact that we are able to come here and speak factually on a nightly basis and interact with facts in relation to the issues. They don't like that. Yeah? When we say something, for instance, and let me see if I can, there's other kind of twist and thing and get that. Now remember during the election campaign that the present Prime Minister was making an issue out of the then governments, asking people who are on contract of service to pay their own NIS. In fact, don't take my word for it. Let's hear the Prime Minister, when he was not yet Prime Minister, speaking on this particular issue.
But I just want to reflect a little on the consequences of our workers being placed on contract and of the consequences of our workers being branded as Imanis and placed on contract. The consequences of that are, as I've said, you will not have a pension. For many of the contract workers, the government of Grenada has told them that they are required to pay their own NIS. And I'm calling out the National Insurance Scheme because we all know that if a private employer refuses to pay the NIS contributions on behalf of his employees, they will be hauling him to the High Court, to the Magistrate Court. They will be auditing him up left, right, and center, and they will be hounding him down to ensure that the contributions are paid. The National Insurance Scheme is therefore required to ensure that the government of Grenada pays the NIS contribution for all of the employees of the government of Grenada. And let us understand what that means. It means if NIS is not being paid for you, you will not get an NIS pension, as little as it is. You will not be able to claim NIS sick leave. You will not be able to claim NIS maternity leave. You will not be able to claim a workplace benefit injury. The question, therefore, is why would a government that cares about its people, about its workers, place its workers in a position where the statutory scheme that has been established since 1983 for all workers to have social security benefits like maternity leave, like sick leave, like workplace employment injury benefits, like a pension, like a funeral death grant, be taken away from you by the government refusing to pay your NIS contributions? It is wrong, it is illegal, and the National Democratic Congress commits that on forming the next government, we will immediately cease the practice of requiring our employees to pay their own NIS.
Okay, we heard what he said there. But even though he said that, this letter was given to the people within the Ministry of Youth. This is the letter that was given to the people within the Ministry of Youth. Cessation of submission of National Insurance Scheme remittances on behalf of persons who are engaged via contract for service. We just hear him say, when he wasn't even in opposition, you know. He was in a position, but he was not even in opposition, because I think Toby was the leader of the opposition or something like that. So he was in a position, but not in as the leader of the opposition. We just hear him say that how they would put an immediate stop to it, that how it is illegal, and how he's calling out the NIS, that they need to deal with this issue and they need to audit the government. But look at the letter here. This was sent out on the 20th of January of 2023, not 2022 when the new National Party was in office, you know, because they were saying that what the new National Party was doing was wrong. That you had certain staff under the ministry that were employed on what is called a contract for service, and that due to that, since these people were on a contract for service, according to what the NIS was saying, that these people should be paying their own NIS. He went on the platform and he said, no, let me hear what he said again. I'm leaving it up on the screen for you all to see what it is that he said. I'm going to go to the phone line just now. I see it ringing.
That the government of Grenada pays the NIS contribution for all of the employees of the government of Grenada. And let us understand what that means. It means if NIS is not being paid for you, you will not get an NIS pension, as little as it is. You will not be able to claim NIS sick leave. You will not be able to claim NIS maternity leave. You will not be able to claim a workplace benefit injury. The question, therefore, is why would a government that cares about its people, about its workers, place its workers in a position where the statutory scheme that has been established since 1983 for all workers to have social security benefits like maternity leave, like sick leave, like workplace employment injury benefits, like a pension, like a funeral death grant, be taken away from you by the government refusing to pay your NIS contributions? It is wrong, it is illegal, and the National Democratic Congress commits that on forming the next government, we will immediately cease the practice of requiring our employees to pay their own NIS.
Yeah, but that letter says different. Let's go to the let's go to the phone line. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night. Mr. Sheldon, good night, and how are you?
I just Sheldon and you don't have to put the Mr. in front. We's brothers, man. What you getting on with Papa?
Yes, well, I have respect for everybody, and I like to respect people in authority, big or small, slim or fat. Sheldon, I was a contract worker, and I know the government used to pay the NIS for every employee. So that is, as I said before, that is a blatant lie. Now, I just want to make a little input here that the Honorable Prime Minister of this country start his campaign with a lie, continue with a lie. He talks about workers, how the government, the past administration don't like workers. But the past government was employing people and creating avenues so that people could be employed. But when he came into office, instead of create avenue, he started kicking them out left, right, and center. Some of them, a good friend of mine from St. Andrews, told me, we have not got paid yet. What do I do? I said, well, I can't tell you, give you an avenue to go to. Because every avenue you explore, they are filled. And when they are filled, they knows nothing. They don't know nothing about that. Now, it's the first time I ever hear in a country that people have the position and they knows nothing from the prime minister down. When somebody asks him about the money the overpaid money to pensioners, he doesn't know. He's not aware of that, so he knows nothing. But how you could have a prime minister running a country and he doesn't know anything financially, and you are the minister of finance? Come on, we are living in an era. As he said, by the stroke of a pen, everything will be all right. By the stroke of a phone call, he can know everything. And I am saying that to say, I don't want to press him too much now, but it's time that people must know. You go in all heads of government conference meeting, you talk about Haiti, you talk about the world should assist Haiti in the endeavor because there are a lot of violence down there. Gangs are running the country. People are fleeing from Haiti for survival. You get the opportunity to score some points. You blatantly refuse them. You put them you look for a place to put them until you could get a flight, even though you had to charter it. Well, I know a charter flight would cost a lot of money. So the money he paid for the flight, he could have stored them there and they could have get food for almost 1 month with that kind of money. But that's not the real issue I want to talk about, Sheldon. I don't understand how you have a prime minister and all other ministers staying in the prime minister's home that was created way back when. Gary stayed there, Morris stayed there, Dr. Mitchell stayed there, and you telling me you're renting a comfortable flat, whether it's 5,000, 10,000, 30,000, or 24,000. That is taxpayers' money. These 24 or 30,000 that you're spending on rental could divert to assist people in this country. There is a lady who used to call the program when she realized she don't get the 450, she go in her home because she want to be taken care of. She lives in her own house. So these people, and you could see they are very inhuman. They don't like people. They come out and talk about regularization, and all they're doing is to creating havoc with people's life, people bread and butter. I am calling on them to rethink their position. As one friend said to me, he said, it's time that they should decide if they want to go up, down, or out. I said to him, the best bet for them is to go in asylum, go and hide. Then we fight the battle as it is now. So I don't believe these guys and has the know-how to run country. They could sit down outside and talk, and country could run. So you're talking about 2 months, payment for salaries in a month, twice a month. Ridiculous. These guys, and I don't want to go there yet, you know. I didn't want to talk about Cuba yet, you know, because when I heard the problem with how they deal with Cuba, it is sickening. Very hot. These people are heartless. They don't recognize people. They don't do things. You don't do things like that. You want to run to Cuba to get aid to help you medically, and you are treating the Cubans in Grenada like that? Come on, people. Grenadian time to wise up. You can see clearly that these people don't mean to develop Grenada. They come to develop themselves because the first thing they do is to put $2,000 on their salary and say in case of Lord man, you don't want this kind. Come on, that is a flimsy excuse. Other ministers was working, yes, it was small, but remember, there was a lot of people who wasn't getting nothing outside there. So they're creating avenue so people could be small how it is, they could get something to pay their bill at the end of the month. Cost of living is going up and up. As you get into office, you don't make a month work yet, you get $2,000 increase. What happened to the poor people outside there? What happened to those that depend on the 150 that you take out? I am asking him and his team to repay the 150 to these people. Give them back the money. You give teachers 1.2 million. You say the past government has deducted from them when they went out on strike. They didn't work for it. But you take 150 from these poor people. Come on, have a heart, no man. Come on, Mr. Prime Minister. I know you're listening and other members of Parliament listening. Have a heart, no man, and let us run this country in the best of our ability and stop creating havoc in this country. Sheldon, thank you very much.
All right, my brother. You have a good night. Yes, indeed, folks. Yeah. What they say? The voice of people is the voice of? All right, nice. There, just making sure you all know this statement. Voice of the people is the voice of God. Isn't it? Yeah, nice. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. So yeah, I was telling you just before that caller called. They have been saying that what was being done before is illegal. They're saying, no, you can't have contracted workers, and because they're on contract, you're making them pay their NIS. Out of the money you give them, they have to go to the NIS and pay, because like if they're self-employed because they're contracted, you understand, like you have a business, your business is contracted to do plumbing at a particular location, and because your business, which is a named business, is contracted to do plumbing at a location, you don't expect that location to pay your workers. You have to pay your workers and pay the NIS and so on. And that is what was being said. Now, the Prime Minister, when he wanted to get into office, was telling all the people that were in that situation, no, the government is the employer, so the government should be paying. That's what he was saying. No, I'm going to play it again. Yeah, I'm going to play it again because I think it's necessary for you to hear. I'm not going to play the whole thing. Let me play part of it.
You all know that if a private employer refuses to pay the NIS contributions on behalf of his employees, they will be hauling him to the High Court, to the Magistrate Court. They will be auditing him up left, right, and center, and they will be hounding him down to ensure that the contributions are paid. The National Insurance Scheme is therefore required to ensure that the government of Grenada pays the NIS contribution for all of the employees of the government of Grenada. And let us understand what that means. It means if NIS is not being paid for you, you will not get an NIS pension, as little as it is. You will not be able to claim NIS sick leave. You will not be able to claim NIS maternity leave. You will not be able to claim a workplace benefit injury. The question, therefore, is, why would a government that cares about its people, about its workers, place its workers in a position where the statutory scheme that has been established since 1983 for all workers to have social security benefits like maternity leave, like sick leave, like workplace employment injury benefits, like a pension, like a funeral death grant, be taken away from you by the government refusing to pay your NIS contributions. It is wrong, it is illegal, and the National Democratic Congress commits that on forming the next government, we will immediately cease the practice of requiring our employees to pay their own NIS.
So there it is, but that's not what they're doing. As you can see, as I have up on the screen, you would realize that instead, what they have done is that they have basically continued the same thing that they were, 1, saying is illegal, 2, saying is a wicked practice, 3, that was calling on the NIS to immediately deal with this because that shouldn't be done. But yet still, they're doing it. Yeah, this is not a fake letter, you know. There's an actual letter that was sent out to the different people to whom it may concern. In other words, you see, to all contracted personnel. It's not me here just saying that, oh, as soon as I come in government, I would immediately stop doing that, you know. It's not me that say that. It is the present administration that say that. The letter is there. I'm giving you all enough time for you all to read the letter and to understand what is taking place here. Now you realize why they want to shut us up. You realize why they want to keep us quiet. You realize why they don't want our collective voices speaking on issues. We have a call online. Good night.
Hello, just saying good night.
Well, a lovely good night to you, Cammy.
Yeah, and good night to Mr. Watson, Patty, and Miss Yolande, and Yolande Smith, and, you know, all the people that does be listening, and all my friends that has been listening. Good night. Good night. Well, Mr. Scott, we could beg us from now till next year for that 150. They won't put back that money, Sheldon. They will not put that money back. Dick Mitchell installed in we. He ain't gonna give us that money. But what amazing is you get the clips to the way he said things and it's not happening in India. He good for them. Sheldon, I know you're in sympathy with a lot of us in this country, but he good. He good for them. And they say Dr. Mitchell is an old man. Time for him to go and rest. Well, he resting now. He good for them. I don't care who vexed with me. Good. I didn't vote for these people and them. I didn't give Dick Mitchell and them my vote. You know what I say? I didn't give them their vote. I didn't vote for these people. I don't care. If you want to do anything with me, do it. Because before I this in power, eating and drinking and weighing clothes, I have 5 children. 5 children, and now out of the 5, 1 go give them all a pound of sugar. It's damn good for them. They want them. I went in all the meetings during the campaign time. And these people and them want these Venetian people. They want them. So now they take what they get. I don't sorry. I don't want nobody sorry for me. I don't sorry for them because they want them. Look at the Ministry of Sports now. They tell them what they did in the time when they win. What they send them Imani people. Somebody send Imanis. Go back and vote for them or you take it. Take that. I'm not in sympathy with some of y'all.
Cammy,
I'm in sympathy with the old people.
Cammy, hear this. The Prime Minister said when he was opposition leader that when they come in, within 12 months, 12 months, he said within 12 months, they're taking everybody off of contracts and the Imani will be made permanent. That's what he said. So we're waiting 12 months ain't reached yet, so we gain them time.
Who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. Teach the Lord to wait. Let them wait. And do sorry for them. Or you not bring that on all yourself. And they laughing at all you. They laughing at all you. Who want to go with them, die their business. I'm not dealing with these people. I don't like these people. You know hot poor people. You know how much people they send in the gang in River Road? They send them for them. For them.
And it's poor people.
They're rejoicing.
That's poor people.
They're rejoicing. Well, they go come. One day Congo take, I believe in the old people saying. One day Congo take. And when you get it done with all you inside it, and you cannot walk the street of Grenada. And you can't walk, and you run for the things that are they doing to the poor people. Oh God, I could have seen if Miss Camille was to come in and secretary in finance, and you know you tell yourself about NNP, you could move me from the position I is and put me somewhere where I will see certain things. But you sending home. I'm not saying tonight that NNP did not remove some people and send them home. I am not saying that I'll be a damn liar. But look how much people, they had a meeting this afternoon with the people in marketing board, and they give them the deadline. They have a few more days and they're going home. What you leave for the young men that work in there, not to go and sell drugs, not to sell cocaine? Not cocaine. You want them to go and sell, and they are their family, they are their woman. Some of the women go leave them, they go harm them, because they don't have money coming in. Some of them are their old parents to give something, not to go and thief people think now. You causing people to go and thief. But he's good, because they say he's the best man, he's a bright man. He's bright. I never go to school, but he looks like me, though. He can't tell me not to convince me to do nothing. I don't know what's wrong with you people and you have Grenadians. Some of them say them is they teacher, they this, they that, and you are agreeing to what happened to your neighbor. Your neighbor hungry. Your neighbor balling. So you alone that want to pay your water bill. You know the reason why he just staying in Montreal, he see little jumping all over there so he can't stay there. Yes, little dumpy. The candle they light. The candle and them light is a little dumpy that jumping so he's afraid. One of the man that watching where he stay and say that the man just get up all over in the night and walk. Can't sleep. You can't do these things to poor people. Good night, Grenada. A lot of people crying.
All right, Gabby.
Things don't start yet, you know. I don't want to go in the hospital. But by God, if you see anything happen to me, let me just die peacefully in my sleep. Because you don't have medication and you can't tell me you have Voltaren injection. You don't have no Voltaren injection. You have the Voltaren tablet. They have the Voltaren tablet. It's 75 grams.
And you're the second person that's telling me that. You're not the first.
If I think I lie.
No, it's second person.
Some of the ministers, go in the hospital in Maryville. Go in the hospital, in the general hospital, and you don't get in Voltaren injection. They don't have Athene. You want call any doctor and ask them what Athene for, and you don't have that for the thing people. Anyhow, what we work for, so we have to take it. It's good. I don't sorry for them. And I don't want nobody sorry for me if something happened to me. Because I'm saying it, the one listening, I don't want anybody to sorry for me. I am 66 years of age, and I have 5 children. And I know one of my children will give me a pound of sugar. They'll pay me water bill for me. Have a good night, Grenada.
All right, my dear. Yes, folks. Kiami! Oh, gosh. Hey, Cammy do easy, you know. Cammy easy. Let me just make sure yes, right. I have the phone line. Yes, so I have the phone lines clear. 4407377. Yeah, you know, it's always a case, and it seems to be a regular thing where we're finding the Prime Minister saying one thing a year ago or so. We're finding him saying one thing, and then when the time comes to do what he said and promised he would do and was voted in on those promises of what he would do, you see, doing something totally different. So it's not the first time. I thought I just saw the phone line. Yeah, oh, I think I may have asked. Let me make sure. Hello, good evening. I think I may have mistakenly. Let me just check again. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Hey, I'm quite fine. How are you doing?
Charlotte, I'm doing good.
All right.
Listen, the caller who spoke before, you need to give her a medal. Grenadian get fooled again. All right. Listen, I'm a Grenadian. Whatever happened in Grenada hurts me. And I had my cousin call me and tell me, oh, could I help to get some things over the Christmas? She said, because look, I haven't gotten paid. And I was like, what do you mean you haven't gotten paid? I said, hold on. He's the one that was jumping up and telling me in June, you're switching from green to yellow. I said, so what happened? You guys drank the Kool-Aid again? I said, you know, we have so much a short memory. And she's like, yeah, you know, they came around and say X, Y, Z, but now it's crazy for us. Nothing going, you know, I can't, nothing for shopping. And I sit and I listen to your program, and I listen to other people, and I never thought it was that bad. But as the caller said, 4 years is coming up again, and I just hope that Grenadian memory doesn't get short, as it usually do. And they should have remembered the Prime Minister, the present Prime Minister, used in the early was a corporate lawyer who went against workers. So he changed in face just to get into politics, what they expect was going to happen. This is just my 2 cents.
All right, my brother. You could give us a whole dollar and done, you know, we didn't mind.
No, I'm going to keep the other 98 cents to help me, though.
Okay, my brother. Thank you so very much.
Keep up the good job, my brother.
All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, folks. Yeah, 44073. 440-7377. And for those of you outside of Grenada, 347-329. Let me just make sure I had the full number. I'm mixing up the number there. Let me just make sure I had the overseas number properly there. Yeah. The overseas number, I have to wait for it to scroll. And the next thing I go on, 347-329-3101. Right. Yeah, that's the overseas line. So I'm just making sure that I had the right thing there. But yes, so I was telling you all, it seems to be a situation where we keep finding the Prime Minister in total contradiction to everything that he said on the campaign trail. So it seemed to be a situation. Go on the campaign trail and say anything in order to get into office. Ignore reality, ignore common sense, ignore the realistic nature of life. Just ignore everything and promise people pie in the sky. And now you're telling people to get pie on the plate. They can't even afford plate. There's bully that to go in the bush and see if they find. And then they keep shouting, boots on the ground, boots on the ground. Oh, boots on the ground, me. Anyway, we have a caller on the WhatsApp. Good night, caller. Hello.
Good night, Sheldon. Good night.
Good night, good night. You're live. Go right ahead.
Yes, my brother. First of all, I would like to compliment Dr. Kit Mitchell and the new National Party for the empathy that he has shown to the poor and ordinary people of his country, especially at this time. You know, February 19th, 1951 was when the poor people of Grenada walked for miles and miles to converge in St. George's to protest against the colonial powers that was taking advantage on the poor and ordinary people of this country. It was a time when men were working for 42 cents and women 39 cents. And so Eric Martigeri and the Grenada Marginal and Mental Workers Union marched to the streets of St. George's that changed the status quo and the social and economic status of this country. And today, again, we are seeing that the very poor among us, those are the lowest strata of the economic ladder, is being taken advantage on once again. Always remember, it's the poor and ordinary people. Those are the people who are oppressed. These are the people who stand up and who stood up that our country should be at where it's at today, and therefore we need a government with some empathy, for these people who are not able to secure for themselves some form of substance whereby they can live on it throughout the time. And therefore the state is responsible to look after those who cannot look after itself. And therefore we cannot, at this point in time, no praise is too high for the new National Party for the manner in which Dr. Kit Mitchell and his new National Party has treated these people among us. And it's very, very commendable. And every time you turn to a program and people talk about how these people are being treated, it must raise some sense of pride. It must raise our head to know that these people who have fought so hard, who have worked so hard for this country, that they are at this position now, and our government is not showing any empathy to those at the lowest rung of the economic and social ladder. And therefore, again, let me compliment the new National Party and Dr. Mitchell for what he had done to elevate, at least give them some form of comfort that they could live, free. In some homes they was given electricity, water. Some homes were built for persons who could not afford for themselves. The bathroom and toilet facility that we are given that has been given to these people. To develop this standard of living, it cannot and should not look at that, in any derogatory way. And the next thing, Sheldon, you told me that, the name of the Market International Importing Board, but the night brother Cox was so good, man. He couldn't disturb
Yeah.
that.
But tell us.
Huh?
But you have the info for us? You could tell us?
Yeah, well, it was NIB, National Import Board.
Mm-hmm.
Is a revolution that put the M with Market International Importing Board.
Mm-hmm.
And that was established in 1973.
Yeah, so that was even before independence.
Oh yeah. It was even before independence, and its mandate was to market the excess crop of farmers, and producers, and even it was to bring in some fertilizers and other inputs for the agricultural sector.
Mm-hmm.
So it was named National Import Board. Yeah, it was the revolution who had the M to it, Marketing and National Importing Board. But more or less because the mandate was for the export of the excess crops in our country. So that was the first name. That was the 1973 Act. NID.
All right, my brother. I'd like to thank you so very much. You always come with some valuable information.
Like I say, this year, especially this week, that is when our people was marching the streets of St. George's, and not even partnerships could have stopped the ordinary people of this country from protesting against the colonizers.
All right, my brother. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, great.
And once And once again, let me thank Dr. Mitchell and the New National Party for the empathy they have shown to the less fortunate among us. Thank you.
All right. Yes, indeed, folks. Where Cammy? Cammy, where you? I think I need to hear Cammy. Cammy, where are they? Yes, indeed. Watch. We keep, and I think that's why they want us off air. They want us off air because they find that we keep exposing things. Because if we had not been on air, you would never have known certain things that have been said before and be able to compare it to what is being said now. Let me see if I get the phone line. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, look at Miss Tammy here. I want to thank this man that just talked about congratulating the NNP government. Yes, sir. And we as a people in Grenada, we are ungrateful. You know why I'm saying that? You could say 99% of the Grenadian people get help under the NNP government. Dr. Kit Claudius Mitchell was a man for the poor people in this country. I don't care what they say about me. They could call me a sing so good. Because right now the rain falling and a lot of us used to leak. We house used to leak. And Kit Mitchell put a roof over our head. And I'm very grateful for that. And a lot of them, they're ungrateful. They forget all the hard work. He and his team, Miss Yolan Bain, Miss Emin Pierre, Miss the one in Victoria, she's a doctor, she's studying Cuba, Miss Clarice Modest, Peter David, and all the rest of NNP supporters, those who was in the past, they span all of these people that help us in this country. We're an ungrateful nation. When they want us hurt me, you know why I don't like them NDC people? I don't like none of them inside it. None. You know why I don't like them? They stay. They take them out and they say, Kit Mitchell, and them they do nothing Grenada. Not tell me what they do. I want them to tell me what they do. I have a nephew that came from England, and he come and look at me today. And he saying, all these stories and them that they're in Grenada. I said, listen to me. I said, boy, all the tourists you are coming inside and Miss Clarice Modest from Victoria that let these people come in Grenada, that was already done under the NDC. And these people ripping the harvest now. By you mighty words, I don't take that back. That man's work, Dr. Kit Claudius Mitchell, you could have go by that man in the office and tell him about gas, and he shove it in his pocket, and he buy gas for y'all. I just ungrateful. He used to pay rent for a lot of them NDC people. He never used to turn them back. He used to help them. Marty West, whoa, I you just start to see trouble. I you just start. I have no apology. Anyway,
Cammy,
put me,
Cammy,
somebody go take care of me.
Cammy, bye-bye.
Good night.
Cammy, bye-bye.
It's a start. And people don't come and bring nothing for him, man. So you must announce it again.
Yeah, folks, yeah,
you
because
must announce it again.
He has
and
to
I want to tell the Grenadian people, don't bring no bag and rest by me. Because I understand. Are you trying to set me up? But don't worry. I just do my own investigation. Do not bring a you bag with cocaine to set me up on the bus terminal. Don't come with it. Don't bring a you bag and you walk with it. Go with it. I'm running alive when you come. And I don't must buy from me. I don't have to buy. I have 5 children, I tell you. Shall I need to call for me? You have a message?
Hey?
Eh?
No.
You
know, no, I call back for you because I want to hear you.
Yes, that's ungrateful, Sheldon. That's ungrateful. I work, Sheldon, in the revolution with the Cuban doctors, Dr. Agustin, Dr. Blanche, and I just can't remember the other one name. He had to put on. I work with the Cubans. I used to wash. I used to wash the clothes, iron it, and we used to cook me and Miss Val and them for the Cubans. I used to be ungrateful. That's what I tell you. Most of the dentists and doctors that are in Grenada today, they study in Cuba. They study in Cuba. Are you doing great, fool? I don't got nothing yet. Good night, Grenada.
All right,
Patty,
Cammy.
good night. Yes, bye-bye.
Well, I mean, I like thing I call back Cammy. 4407377. You all can call. My blood pressure could never be high being around people like Cammy, you know. It could never. Every time I don't ever suffer from this thing. My blood pressure doesn't go up. I like to laugh. Yeah? But even though I'm laughing, we're into some very, very serious situations here. Listen, I have friends who are listening right now. I know I have a lot of friends from St. Lucia. They're listening right now. Don't worry, I only have a one Tom there too. Yeah. So we have my friends from St. Lucia, from Jamaica. A lot of non-Grenadians are listening right now, and they are very concerned. Because you have to wonder, if you have a prime minister that makes a statement like this.
So let me zero in. You have a seed program. The World Bank says if you're making $650 or less, you're poor. Yet still, the seed program is only paying you $350 and $450. They are aware of the World Bank report. Why then raise the seed program to $650 or more? So if they're interested in truly alleviating poverty or truly helping you, they would raise the figure to $650 or more. So I'm saying to all of the persons who are genuinely on the seed program, particularly our older citizens, who would have worked to help build Grenada, the seed program should be for you, for people who are differently able, for elder citizens.
Now, for those of you that may be hearing that for the first time, that's the voice of the same Prime Minister as Minister of Finance, who the same category of people that he was saying that money should be increased to $650. Yeah, when he got into office, he's now taken out $150 from it. So instead of add $150 onto it, he's taken out $150 to the point where some people are getting as low as $75 now. So if they were poor when they were getting under $650 and $650 would have made them not poor, what are they now when they're getting $75? Yeah? And as Cammy mentioned, right now we need to get some money into the account, folks. We need to get some money into the account to assist not just the dialysis patient, but there are one or two other people that we need to assist. We don't want a situation where it goes back to he's only able to do one treatment a week and that sort of, because we know what the eventual outcome will be. While we're doing that though, know that we're also working on a more permanent solution. So it won't be a situation that we're always going to have to find money to try and help him on a monthly basis. But that while we do that now, we also work on a plan that he will be able to eventually help himself and maybe even help himself to the point that he could help others as well. But we're going to be working towards that point. And in each case that we can, when we are helping somebody, we're going to try to help people, not that they end up becoming dependent on us or anyone, but try to bring them to a point of independence. They can do their things on their own. So whether it is, we set them up on a small business as something as small. And I was thinking something like, for instance, you want to do a barbecue stand and you want to do barbecue 2-3 times a week and so on. We help you to achieve that. Or we help you to achieve something small that you want to be able to do, something reasonable within our grasp that we can help you to do, so that we don't have to end up on a monthly basis trying to find funds to help everybody. We could help different people at different times. So that's one of the things that definitely we're looking at. I have a caller on the WhatsApp. Let me just get that call. It usually takes a couple of seconds. Hello, good night.
Yeah, Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
Concerning the Haitian issue,
Yeah.
I think we can put up a billboard or something in Sanssouci, in St. Cloud, where Henry Christophe was born, the first president of Haiti. You know, he was born in Sanssouci, St. Andrew. So I think we can put up a billboard or something there depicting that area. So that Grenadians would know that Haiti's first president was a Grenadian, Henry Christophe. And he has also named the presidential palace compound in Haiti Sans Souci. So he has not forgot his roots. And so maybe when the Haitians understanding that the first president came from Grenada, so they came back to the Grenada, hoping that they would get some sympathy from our government, because the liberator of Haiti, Henry Christophe, was born in Grenada. So they think they was coming home to a welcome. Unfortunately.
Oh boy. And remember, Grenada too was a French territory until very late. It was a French territory until very late. So there are connections between Grenada and the other French territories within the region.
Well, okay. Well, if you look at it from that standpoint, right? No, the French came in 1649, right?
Mm-hmm.
In 1762, Grenada was annexed to the British under the Treaty of Paris. Then the French fought back in 1779. So from 1779 to 1783, Grenada again was under French rule, and it was in 1783 in the palace of Louis XIV, in the Treaty of Versailles, the halls of mirror in the palace of Louis XIV, that Grenada was given back to the British under the Treaty of Versailles. And that is when the migration of Grenadians started to Trinidad. Because the British treated the French so badly, the French went to England to meet with the Spanish ambassador, who then gave them the assurance that he would send them to Trinidad to Don Shakan and give instruction to Don Shakan to give the French and planters in Grenada and their workers to give them large tracts of lands, to exempt them from taxes, and to include them in the population of Trinidad. That is when carnival started in Trinidad in 1784 by the French and the migrants who left Grenada. So the carnival that was started in 1784 by those who left Grenada during that time. And when Ralph Abercrombie came to Grenada after the Great Fire of 1795, he then went to Trinidad, overthrew Don Shakan. Trinidad became British, and Tobago was taken out from under the administration of Grenada and put under the administration of Trinidad. And so from January 1st, 1801, Tobago became part of Trinidad. So you get Trinidad and Tobago, and St. Lucia replaced Tobago in the Windward Islands.
Okay. All right, caller. Once again, we'd like to thank you so much. And I have to speak to you on a specific program I'm going to be doing in the next couple of weeks, but we'll speak off the air on that one.
No problem, no problem.
Okay, great. Thank you so very much. Yes,
welcome
again. I call him the historian, folks. Yeah. He usually gives us some very, very insightful information in relation to Grenada's history. And as he mentioned Tobago, this was the Prime Minister. Remember, the same man I explained a while ago what we played. That was the man that he said that they need, if a government really care and if they were serious about alleviating poverty, they would raise the amount of money. Well, what he did when he got in office and he sat in the Prime Minister's chair and the Minister of Finance's chair is that he removed $150 from those people. And hey, those of you that hear that for the first time, especially the international people and so, at the same time, within less than 6 weeks of coming into office, the same individual ensured that he raised the salary of every one of his parliamentarians. Yeah, his people that he had, not parliamentarians in general, no NNP benefit from that. No, his ministers in his cabinet, he gave them an additional $2,000, $24,000 a year additional. But he took away $150 from people that he knew, because this proves that he knew that these people are vulnerable. Let's play it again. He knew that these people are vulnerable, and he took away $150 from them. Meanwhile, his parliamentarians, he made sure that they have additional $2,000, and they put it as a traveling allowance, so they have to pay no tax on it. $24,000 additional that they're not paying a cent tax on.
So let me zero in. You have a seed program. The World Bank says If you're making $650 or less, you're poor. Yet still, the seed program is only paying you $350 and $450. They are aware of the World Bank report. Why then raise the seed program to $650 or more? So if they were interested in truly alleviating poverty or truly helping you, they would raise the figure to $650 or more. So I'm saying to all of the persons who are genuinely on the seed program, particularly our older citizens.
So you just remember, this is the same guy that was saying the NNP government should have raised it, but when he came in, he lowered it. All right? Nice. This is the same guy that was speaking about regional issues. Let's hear what he had to say.
I also genuinely feel that there has been a lack of political will to make travel amongst the islands and the OCS and CARICOM as seamless as we can. I really don't know that there's anything for Trinidadians to fear about Grenadians or Grenadians to fear about Trinidadians or Tobagonians. And so it's difficult for me to understand why we still have a lot of the immigration restrictions that we have amongst ourselves, given our historical close ties or cultural ties or sporting ties or family ties. And it's one of the things I really want to champion within CARICOM in general and amongst our islands is the need for people to be able to travel seamlessly as citizens of CARICOM. So that's one of the major issues,
Just remember, the man who's speaking here about citizens of CARICOM traveling seamlessly through CARICOM is the same one that signed the deportation order for 15 of them to be sent back, yeah? Right, nice, yeah.
I don't even know why we at CARICOM, we are classifying workers into this worker and that worker. To me, once you're a citizen of CARICOM, you should be able to travel within CARICOM with no hindrance, I hope. Yeah,
Haitians are citizens of CARICOM, and according to his own words, they should be able to travel within CARICOM without hindrance. It's not me speaking. This is the present Prime Minister that signed the deportation order for them.
That is something that we can progress during my time in office and during our generation for sure. So I certainly think, we're brothers and sisters. And I don't think when you go to your brother's home, you ask for permission to come in. I think your brother welcomes you with open arms. And so I hope we can translate that on a national level amongst our islands.
We have a call online. Good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Good night, my dear. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm sitting and watching you, listening to the program. You know what hurting me? This faggot guy come in and say he's a prime minister. Good night.
No, we're hearing you. Go ahead. We're hearing you.
Yes, this faggot guy.
No, my dear. No, we can't say that then. No. Folks, we'd like to disassociate ourselves with the statements made. No, my dear. You can't say that. No. You're going to put us in trouble. Don't make them. They're looking for any angle that they can get. I'm sorry, I got to have to terminate the call. I didn't hear what they said clearly, right? Until, just now. No, remember, they're looking for any angle they can get to attack the program and to try to take us to court. Because here's what they think now, if they could take us to court and they could get a desist order against us that we can't speak about certain individuals again, that's one of the lines that they are attempting to do. So we have to be careful with the statements. We appreciate your call, but certain things we have to know what we're saying, how we're saying, what we're saying. All right, so let's be careful. All right, nice, my dear. No problem with you. Love you. But we can't do that. Nice? Okay, great. Yeah. So that was the Prime Minister speaking. I know you're upset. I know. Believe me, I know. But I'm just saying, protect the program, protect me. Let's be careful what we're saying and how we're saying. All right? The same person that we had speaking just now, no, I'm not talking about the caller now. I'm talking about the Prime Minister. What he was saying on that Tobago program about CARICOM nationals should be able to move within CARICOM unhindered. That includes Haitians. Yeah? Let's hear what he had to say at the United Nations.
We lament that more has not been done for our brothers and sisters in Haiti, a country classified as one of the poorest amongst us. The Caribbean community, CARICOM, continues to pursue various initiatives to assist Haiti. However, we believe that more productive engagements must be undertaken with all stakeholders to help achieve political stability, peace, and economic progress in Haiti.
Well, you see, this government seems to have a problem with putting words into action. They keep talking about boots on the ground, boots on the ground. The boots may be called anyway. But they keep talking about boots on the ground. They had an opportunity to make sure what they were saying became reality and that they actually did something, right? That they actually did something to assist the people of Haiti. Now, the thing is, I am not saying that you have to let everybody into Grenada and that Grenada has to build big facilities and put everybody inside there. And so I'm saying that the Prime Minister is proving himself to be a hypocrite by the statements that he made when he wanted to get the office of Prime Minister, when he wanted to get to sit down in the Prime Minister's chair. He said a lot of things. You all know what they told you in relation to housing. Not enough time for us to really start on that issue tonight. But what they told us in relation to housing and building X amount of houses and how they'll go about doing that. You know that whole thing changed now, right? You know it's another story you start to hear now. Yeah, they start to back out and back away from it. Yeah? So that is what has been taking place. These are the same people that were speaking about Freedom of Information Act and so on. And while they were speaking about Freedom of Information Act, let me play what they were saying about that.
Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell says the media's difficulty in obtaining public information from government is one of the key issues he intends to address as the new Minister for Information. Mitchell explains that he believes in transparency and as such, he will be passing the Freedom of Information Act in Parliament to ensure that journalists in particular can perform their duties efficiently going forward.
One of the things that I think has to happen is that we have to strengthen the institutional framework that allows journalists to do their jobs, particularly as it relates to getting information from the government and the state. So we intend to pass the Freedom of Information Act that makes it easier for journalists and citizens to demand information from the government as to how they're conducting their business and affairs. And I think that will allow for journalists to be able to, when they ask the questions and the information is not being provided, to have a mechanism to demand that the information be provided.
This is one announcement that the president of the Grenada Media Workers Association, Gerard Joseph, says they...
Now just remember, this is the person that was just speaking about a Freedom of Information Act, giving people the information, and then his government sends out this letter. Yeah? They send out this letter to the people within the public service, basically saying that you can't talk. So they had this circular, and now they are in the process. And you heard me earlier when I was speaking about what they're doing, for instance, in the Ministry of Youth. So they're not giving you the letter and say, sign it and bring it back, read it, let your lawyer go over it or anything and bring it back. They want to call them into a room one by one so that the SAO or whoever it is, the senior officer, can be there when they sign the letter, so that nobody would be able to take out a phone and take a picture and pass it on and that kind of thing. Why are you hiding that? What's so special about that letter that you don't want the people see it? Yeah? And how do you know that we already don't have a copy of the letter anyway? But anyway, so you're seeing here on the 26th of January 20, and that was a typo there when they had 2022. It's actually in 2023, because if you look further in the body of the letter, you'd see reference to February the 17th, 2023. So there was a typo in the letter. You could see Government of Grenada Cabinet Office Circular number 4 of 2023. The fourth thing that they sent out from Cabinet to circulate was a letter telling people don't pass information. Yeah? So they are asking people, they're so afraid that they're asking people to come and sign it in the office in front of the SAO so that nobody would get a picture and pass it out. So that if a picture of one comes out, they will be able to say, well, the SAO had something to do with it. So they're setting up them SAOs and maybe even them permanent secretaries in different ministries. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And remember, it's not just within the government service, it's also within statutory bodies. Because you have this situation here with the Gravel and Concrete Emulsion Corporation. Yes, the same one where a board member who operates a business ended up with that business earning thousands of dollars off of the Gravel and Concrete Emulsion Corporation, which is in breach of the Integrity in Public Life Act, by the way. Yeah, and there are several people in breach of the Integrity by Public Life Act right now, well, which is in breach of the Integrity in Public Life Act. Because if you are a member on the board, you ought not to be doing business with the entity of which you are a board member. So I don't need to read the Integrity in Public Life Act. But we have the letter here that was sent out to the staff of the Gravel and Concrete Emulsion Corporation in relation to the same issue. And folks, remember, these are the same set of people that thrived on leaks. But all of a sudden, they have a problem with leak. Yeah? Do so, never, never, never like so. So all of a sudden now, they have a problem with leaks. So when you hear the Prime Minister now speaking about the NIS and the importance of ensuring that even the contract workers that government pay and calling on the NIS, let's hear him.
NIS. And I'm calling out the National Insurance Scheme because we all know that if a private employer refuses to pay the NIS contributions on behalf of his employees, they will be hauling him to the High Court, to the Magistrate Court. They will be auditing him up left, right, and center, and they will be hounding him down to ensure that the contributions are paid. The National Insurance Scheme is therefore required to ensure that the government of Grenada pays the NIS contribution for all of the employees of the government of Grenada. And let us understand what that means. It means if NIS is not being paid for you, you will not get an NIS pension, as little as it is. You will not be able to claim NIS sick leave. You will not be able to claim NIS maternity leave. You will not be able to claim a workplace benefit injury. The question, therefore, is why would a government that cares about its people, about its workers, place its workers in a position where the statutory scheme that has been established since 1983 for all workers to have social security benefits like maternity leave, like sick leave, like workplace employment injury benefits, like a pension, like a funeral death grant, be taken away from you by the government refusing to pay your NIS contributions?
Yeah, yeah. Folks, yeah, that is the same person who ensured that letter, his government, that he promised that as soon as they come in office, they're going to ensure that they are the ones that sent out that letter that you're seeing right now. That's what they're trying to stop, the flow of information. They want to stop that flow of information. This government is disrespectful to the Grenadian media. You have people sending emails to the press secretary and not even getting a response. And then when they do have something and you ask a question, or sending an email and we'll respond. Well, where's the response? Whatever happened to Ron Redhead's situation with having contracts being done through the constituency office? I haven't heard any media person respond on that and say this is the situation and so on. You can remember there's been a set of situation with I don't know. Yeah? So we've heard these things. We've seen these things. We understand what is going on. And we also understand why they want to silence us. Not that they're going to get through. They ain't going to get through. They'll be fighting up for it from now until the day they leave office, but they will not be able to silence us. Yeah? And I was listening to Camille, she does say, careful where you eat, careful where you drink. Yeah? I just listen to Camille, she does warn me. She'll say, careful where you go. Careful who you are around. I just listen to Camille. Camille does talk to me as a mother. And there are several other people that do the same thing. They try to talk to me as mothers and as fathers to say, hey boy, be careful. Because they're gunning for you. But I'll say this though. All when they're talking about Oh, somebody was having a sound problem. I'm wondering. Other people having that same issue. Are you all hearing? I think I only seen one person saying that might be their device then. Yeah. I'm saying, and I lost my train of thought as I looked at the message. But I'm saying here that we are seeing that developing trend where they're trying to silence. But I'll tell you something. It's not the FIU they have to be concerned about, and FIU investigating who is sending out information and who is putting out information to people outside of the public service. And so not them you have to be worried about. You have to be worried about the American Drug Enforcement Agency. Just remember DEA. Remember those 3 letters very clearly. DEA. The American Drug Enforcement Agency. Also remember Interpol, right? And also remember the American FBI. And then do some further investigation into what took place on Port St. George last year when various items were being removed from the port by individuals. I don't know who the individuals are. But I know that the board of directors of the Port Authority sent out information saying that wrong things took place. That things was leaving the port that ought not to have left the port. And I'm hearing the name of at least 2 people sitting in cabinet right now involved in such happenings in the past. One of them so senior you want to know. But I am hearing the names and they could challenge me, Yeah, because don't feel, anyway, let me just keep that one quiet. Challenge me, make the mistake. Yeah? There are 2 people sitting in cabinet right now who have been involved in things that came to Port St. George, like they get legs and walk out without anybody giving permission, proper permission, and proper search and proper documentation taking place in relation to those items. So talk about FIU and me. Or they should be worried about DEA, FBI, and Interpol. That's all you need to be worried about. Because all you're talking, it is highly likely that some of you will be seeing a foreign jail cell. A foreign jail cell. Long before any of us that you're wishing bad for. I ain't wishing it on all you. I'm just warning you all. Careful, look at mouth what you say. And as old people say, when you dig in pit, dig 2. Don't dig 1. Put the dirt from this one on the left, put the dirt from that one on the right. Dig 2. So be very careful what you wish for people. I know one person was wishing bad on Cammy, only talking about Cammy foot. I wouldn't come here and tell all what happened to that person. They wish all kind of bad on Cammy and they say all kind of thing about Cammy and she foot this and she foot that and all kind of thing. And they don't realize that the Most High was listening to their words from their mouth to his ears. And he placed judgment on them. And nobody ain't wish that happened to them. Nobody wished anything to them. But careful what you wish for people. Careful what you wish for people. Because sometimes things coming out in plastic containers from the port that might be looking as detergent might be something else. Things that coming out looking like, it's in a pack of spaghetti and might be something else. Things that coming out looking like bales of flowers, a flour, baking flour and so, might be something else. Careful what you wish for people. Remember, today, the 22nd day of February 2023, at 9:59, I said those words to you. Record this. Keep it close. Because one day, sooner rather than later, those of you who ducking, hiding, trying to cover up and all kind of thing, go learn a lesson that you're going to resound in Grenadian history for many, many years to come. So continue wishing bad on people. Yeah? I prayed up. Nothing can happen to me. That ain't supposed to happen to me. All right? Folks, that's all the time we have for tonight with Talking Points. It's been wonderful being here with you. Tomorrow night, we have more things to talk about. We have more things to discuss. And I want to say a special good night to my good friends out there in St. Lucia. Yeah, especially the Groza Lake crew, the Dennery crew. Those of you, whichever Castries crew, those of you down there in Laborie, in St. Lucia, wherever you are, saying a special good night to all of you. And of course, our listeners, whichever part of the US and so you are, please, I need you all to help us. Whether you can pass by Cami, whether it's a 5, a 10, a 20, whatever you could leave by Cami, please. Yeah, and those of you that are outside of Grenada, remember we have the payment option on our page. So you have it there on the Facebook page, and it's also on the YouTube page. All right. And if it's anything, you can message me on the Talking Points WhatsApp. I usually get the messages a little late. I don't always get it in the nighttime. Sometimes during the day I get them and so on, because I don't always have that device with me. But I'll be able to get the messages so that we can help out the young man, and we could also help out others. It's not just him. We want to help out others as well. So folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. I'd like to thank all of you, my Talking Points family, for continuing to give your love, your support, your encouragement. My good lady in town, every day I just had to pass and check a lady. After I pass by Cami, I just had to pass by that lady. Every day in town, I had to pass and say hello and thing. All of you, Angus, I know you and the family, you're listening and so on. All of you, I just want to say a special thank you and hope that you all have a wonderful night tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night, God's willing, with more Talking Points for you and more information for you once again. I am Sheldon Scott, and I am out.
They say when you don't have good food, you must take in front. So this is my Kaiso for the Masgra 2023. Make sure all come out and support me. No politics, just Kaiso. Let's go. There is no place in the world like Grenada. Its people are so unique, so fabulous. They take politics real serious. You can't tell a man nothing wrong about his party. He'll deal with you so seriously, and from there on, you are his enemy. But as man, I must open my big mouth to lament on some things you know about. So the bother come attack me, don't waste your time on a old jungle like me. Pie in the sky, promises and mama guy. Voters say their expectations were too high. Like the old proverb from way back long, you want to be wrong and strong. Some people bawling with their mouth closed. How they do that, only God knows. Man who could talk, they bawling with their jaws locked. I thought only dummies used to do that. A lady told me she's dying inside slowly, but she don't mind once it's NDC killing she. She said we had enough under Claudius, so nothing wrong if baby Jesus kill us. All those who claim that they love country more than party, the truth and reality is quite visual and so clear to see. Some things are morally wrong and unethical, are considered as politically essential. Their backs are against the wall, but you still can't tell them they're wrong at all. $2,000 increase on your salary, but you cut for people on by $150. I wonder who advising you. Old people go drag bam bam on you. You promise to improve standard of living, but I'm seeing more pain, hurt and suffering. Would you stop for a while and listen to me? Please don't send one more family into poverty. They're crying with their mouths closed. How they do that, only God knows. They're afraid to talk your supporters on the attack when they say is that, is that. A man told me as a strong foot soldier since June 23rd he ain't make $1. When he checked them, hear what they go say. You was wearing a green jersey one Sunday. I'm a strong supporter of the transformation agenda. It could be done with minimal errors, but tribalism and partisan politics messed up the Congress genetics. Mr. PM, you must stick to your promises. A lot of people voted you on these premises. How could you fool big people so?